Hello everyone. In this video, I am discussing a very important topic, that is training process. Training is a very important activity that has to be planned, implemented, and evaluated very carefully. So, if you are not planning or implementing or evaluating a training program very carefully, it will make a lot of issues. So, there should be a systematic process in doing a training program. So, in this video, we are discussing what are the different stages involved in a training program. So, or we call it as a training process model. We are going to discuss. There are different training process model you can see in various textbooks. So I'm discussing one of the popular model. We call it as ADDIE model. ADDIE model, which stands for analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. So that is a 5-step model, ADDIE model. That is what we are going to discuss in this. So training process. So training process has 5 different stages. We start with a training need analysis. First, we need to conduct a need analysis. Which are the training needs that you have to first and you have to understand. Based on the training need, we'll do a training design. We'll do the design of the training or training program. Then, as a third stage, we'll develop the training program. And fourth stage, when training program is ready, we'll conduct the training program, do the training program, that is implementation of the training program. And after the training program is being conducted, we will have an evaluation. So that is the fifth stage. So these are the 5 stages as per ADDIE model or training process model. And need analysis, design, development, implementation, evaluation. We will see each stage in detail. So first stage is training need analysis. In training need analysis, this phase, we are checking whether training is necessary, and we are also checking in which area training is required. Again, we should understand which all employees has to attend the training, etc. So this is very important. If you since it is a very first stage, this is very critical and important, and you should conduct training need assessment very properly. Otherwise, your entire training effort may go in vain. So that is very important. So this stage is very important. So if training need assessment is poorly conducted, the training will not achieve the outcome or the benefit or financial benefit the company expects. So training need assessment has to be conducted properly. Very important. So we'll see a bit more in detail about training need assessment. The training need assessment or training need analysis has 3 components. Talking about training need assessment, the training need assessment has 3 components in total. So we call it as organization analysis, task analysis, and person analysis. I am talking about 3 different components of training need analysis. Okay, they are organization analysis, task analysis, and person analysis. In organization analysis, what is happening? We are trying to understand whether the organization is ready for the training. Is there any? We are seeing from a strategic view. Whether we see from a very awesome view. We have a strategic view we are looking into. Whether training is necessary. Whether is the right time. Is the appropriate time for the training. Whether resources are available. Also we check it. Resources include the financial resources as well. Because if you do not have a proper budget, then you cannot plan a training or plan and implement a training. So you should ensure that your budget is ready, financial budget is ready. That is very important. Of course, another critical factor that you should get proper support from managers and other people, especially the people involved in the training process. So support from the managers and the peers involved in training is very important. So these are the things we normally primarily check in organization analysis. Organization analysis, we look from a larger perspective, from a strategic perspective. We look in whether is it right time to conduct the training, or whether resources are available or ready. What is the support? How much managers and other people involved in training and support in conducting a training program. So that is the first element in training need assessment. First element, that is organization analysis. Second element is task analysis. In task analysis, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to understand in which area training is required. So we basically will check from KSA aspect, that is knowledge, skill, and abilities or behaviors, we say. So we check in that perspective that in which area improvement needed, and improvement is needed. So we check in that particular aspect. So knowledge, skill, and behavior. So that has in which area that has to be emphasized in a training program. The name task analysis comes because normally we call a job is a collection of different tasks. So when we of course the objective of training is to improve employees has to improve their job performance. So to improve job performance, in which task they have to improve, so that is basically task analysis does. That is the second component in training need analysis. In first component, we are looking from a wider perspective, a larger perspective, whether the organization ready for the training. In second part, we are trying to understand in which area training is required. That is task analysis. Okay, or in which task we have to give emphasis in training, or in which KSA aspect you have to give emphasis or importance in training. That is task analysis. And the third one is person analysis. It says who has to attend the training. Here we need to understand who has to attend the training. Also, we need to check how much employees are ready for the training. So that is another aspect. How much employees are ready for the training. So these are the things we have to check in a training need assessment. We should have three components. We should have an organization analysis, a task analysis, and a person analysis. Come to the next stage, that is the second stage of training process model, that is training design. So first we conducted a training need assessment. Now we understood what are the training needs. So we are collected the training needs, we are ready with the training needs. Now we are moving to the next stage, that is training design stage. In training design stage, the very important aspect is we have to set or decide on training objective, or we call it as learning objective. So what should be the learning objective of your training program? Ultimately, you are going to design or you are going to implement a particular training program, maybe a 2 days or 3 days, it depends. So you have to decide on what is the training objective. This training objective should be based on the training needs you are identified. So very important aspect in training design is we have to understand the training objective. Again, a few other things we normally cover in training design phases. One is we have to look into the training content. What are the things you have to cover in training content? Suppose you are planning a sales training program. Okay, what are the content you have to include in this? Whether we have to, again, when you plan a sales training program, your requirement may be with handling a customer, or maybe you have to maintaining a good customer relation. Suppose assume that your focus is on maintaining a good customer relationship. So in that there are a lot of strategies you can plan, you can include in a topic like having a good customer relationship plan. So which all content you have to give, in this particular training program, that you have to decide. So next again you have to plan on what are the activities, or we call it as sometimes we call it the business games or exercises that you have to include in a training program. So that is very important. Another important aspect is lesson planning. Suppose your training program may be of 1 day program or 2 days program. Sometimes we plan for hours, maybe of 20 hours of program or 30 hours of program, something like that. So it will be one training program will be training program includes different lessons, or one lesson, or day one you have a particular thing, or say lesson 1 or session 1, session 2, etc. So proper lesson planning should be there. There should be connectivity from one lesson to, or one session to another session. So proper lesson planning is very important. And another one thing is assessment tools. So when you conduct a training program, you should also decide with the assessment tools. Assessment tool in the sense, we have to have a proper evaluation after the training program. So whether maybe a small test, okay, or maybe after attending the training program, you may ask to do a demo from the employee perspective. So there should be a proper assessment tool. So all those things has to be decided in a design phase. That is very important. So another point here, this designing should be very systematic and specific. Systematic in the sense, as I said in beginning, there should be connectivity from one lesson to another lesson. Maybe your entire training program will consist of some 10 lessons. So there should be a proper connectivity one session to another session. So it has to go with a systematic order. So that is very important. So these are the things we have to decide on a design phase. In design phase, you have to be keen on training content, lesson plan, and your exercises and assessment tools. So development is just an extension of design. In some textbooks, you may not find design and development as separate plans, I mean separate stages. So together they call it as instructional design phase. Or in that context, you can find only 4 stages: and training need assessment, instructional design phase, implementation, and evaluation phase. And development is just an extension of design phase, or we call it as your in design phase. You're created a skeleton of the training program. Now you are adding flesh, or you're filling up, or you're finalizing your training content. So this is where developers create and assemble the content which that are already created in a design phase. Whatever you are prepared with, you will be completed. So with this development phase, then the entire training program will get developed, or will get completely ready. So you will be done with the reference material. You will be have a concrete plan with exercises. You should have will decide on methodology. A particular training program can be conducted with or can be done with a lot of using different methodologies. Different methodologies like case studies or business games, or you can have what they call simulation, or you can have some other activities, exercises, or a lot of methodologies. You can role plays. You can have a lot of methodologies you can include in a training program. So you have to decide on which are methodologies to deliver a particular content. You can use different methodologies. Suppose a sales content, a sales training. Again, sales training, you are talking about importance of selling. Maybe you can maybe you may rely on a lecture. But to do a live how to handle an angry customer, you are dealing another topic. But in that case, maybe you have to choose a different methodology. Maybe you have to choose a role play or something like that. So depend on the topic, depend on the context, you have to use different methodologies. So all those will be finalized in a development phase. Again, coming to the assessment tool, also all those whatever things you have planned in design phase will be added and get finalized in a development stage. With the development phase, our training program is ready to run. So now move to the 4th phase, that is implementation. So implementation is about doing the training program. In implementation, there are few preparations are required. So you may sometimes when you are done with the training content, maybe you may review it. Maybe you try a demo, and suppose if it is e-learning content, and all suppose it is related to internet learning, online learnings, maybe you have to do a small prototype testing, or you have to test with a small group of people. All this testing is part of this particular implementation. Okay. So in implementation, otherwise it is all about doing phase. You have to, again, here maybe you have to look into another point. Sometimes you have to give training or orientation for those who are doing the training. Maybe we call it as facilitators. Okay. So you have to give some training or orientation for facilitators as well. So you have to give a procedure for facilitators, so how to do the training program. So ensure that they are learning the content properly. So that is also a part of implementation stage. And finally, we'll run the program. We'll do the program. Okay. So in doing the program, you have to be concerned with the technical aspect, infrastructure arrangement. Maybe you have to concern with a training hall, seating arrangement, food refreshment, etc. There are a lot of practical aspect to the day of the training. You have to, sometimes if the resource person is coming outside from outside organization, then you have to arrange the travel, a lot of other things. You have to pay them remuneration, all those physical, all those what do you call practical aspect you have to check in a implementation stage. So this is the 4th phase of doing it, the practical aspects, so doing the training program. So before running the training program, you should ensure that you are doing a small test run, as well as you should ensure that your facilitators are ready for the training and they are learning the content, and all other physical infrastructure related arrangements are made. And finally, we will do the training program. So now training program is done. Now after doing the training program, it is very important that you have to evaluate the training program. You should know how good the training program was. You should know. So there, we normally say there should be a two method or two mode of evaluation, that is formative evaluation as well as summative evaluation. Okay, in formative evaluation, we are evaluating a process aspect. Okay, we are evaluating on how good a training program was. In the sense, suppose you may be evaluating from how was the communication skill of the trainer. So that is our process evaluation, example for process evaluation. How good the material was. You may be giving different reference material or ready material in the training program. How good the reference material or the ready material in conduct or delivered in the or distributed in the training program. So all those process aspect will be evaluated in a formative evaluation. The purpose of the formative evaluation to improve the process of training program. Maybe we have to improve the delivery of the training program. Maybe you have to improve the design of the training program, or maybe you may check in a way that suppose we used a role play method to deliver a particular content. Maybe you have evaluation on that, how good role play method for delivering this particular content. Okay, so we call it as a process evaluation. So if you are getting a feedback from the trainees that to deliver that particular content, role play method was not suitable. Okay, you may next time when you plan it, you may change the role play method. You may go for some other method. Maybe for that lecturing was better, or some other demonstration was better. It can be, you can go in that way. So process evaluation is very important, one phase. Another mode of evaluation, we call it as summative evaluation, or evaluation based on outcome. Here we are checking whether the trainees have achieved the intended outcome, or the trainees have changed as a result of participating in a training program. Suppose you are conducting a product training, a new product training. Okay, what will be the outcome? How will you do a summative evaluation, outcome evaluation? After attending new product training, whether now after attending the program, this trainees or this particular trainees are now whether they are fully aware of new product, about new product specification, pricing, or other technical aspect, etc. So you are looking from an outcome perspective, so that will become a summative evaluation. In a formative evaluation, you'll be evaluating each phase of the program, that is process of the program, different stages of the program, training program you have be evaluating. But in summative evaluation, you are purely looking into the whether the trainees have achieved, or whether trainees have achieved the outcome we expected, or the trainees are changed after training program. So that is a we summative evaluation, we call it as outcome based evaluation. So in total, this is evaluation. There are different different models which we use in evaluation process, that we will discuss in another video. So hope this much is clear. So this is, we call it as training process model, or we call it as ADDIE model.